Hello everybody, welcome back to Reading for Vocabulary. I'm Brian Stuart. We're continuing on our subject, our unit, Caring for Animals. Our lesson 8 is Living with Animals. Do you live with an animal? Do you have a pet? Probably if you have a pet, you're living with an animal. So we're going to focus on how humans live with animals. How do humans live with animals? But we'll not just look at pets. In the reading passage, they'll also mention some other ways that human beings have lived with animals a long time ago and through history, but just briefly. But first, of course, before we do any reading, we should study some vocabulary first. Are you ready? Let's begin with our first word. Whoa, these guys look really cool, don't they? Right? Something we watch or do for fun. Something that we watch or that we do for fun. What could that be? Well, we're looking for entertainment. What a long word. Entertainment. So, entertainment. Entertainment. 4 syllables. Entertainment. Long word, right? Entertainment is something we watch. So if you watch a TV show, it could be a drama. It could be a music show. It could be a documentary, something about history. But it's entertaining. That's entertainment. Something we do for fun. We play a video game. We go play soccer. That's also a form of entertainment. Okay, so entertainment has many different forms, or there's many types of entertainment. Okay, next word. A very sad situation. Looks like a person has died. A police funeral. A police officer has died. The state of being dead, we say death. Death. There is a death in the family is a common expression. There was a death. Death is usually used as a noun. There was a death in the family. It means somebody in the family died. Grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, hopefully not child, right? But there was a death in the family. There was a death of a police officer, and this is the funeral. A funeral is to mark the death of a person, a funeral. Okay. Next one. To keep something working. So this person here is a mechanic. It's his job to make sure that this car keeps on working. His job is to maintain, right? A-I, same sound, maintain. Maintain the vehicle. Make sure that it keeps working. And not just that it keeps working, but it keeps working well. Okay? And that is the job of a mechanic. But not just mechanics, everybody should work to keep something working well. You should keep your body working well. Get enough sleep, right? Eat the proper foods. Maintain your health. Okay, so it's not just mechanics who maintain things. Everybody maintains things. We want to keep the things we use working well. We should maintain our bodies. We should maintain the things that we use to make sure they keep working. Don't neglect. Don't ignore the things that you have. Maintain them. Make sure they keep working well. Number 4. Oh, this is very sad. She feels pain. She is suffering. Okay? To suffer. To suffer. It's a verb, right? Usually we say, if we see her, we don't say she is suffer. We say she is suffering. I-N-G. She is suffering. He looks like he is suffering. Okay? But you can also, of course, just use suffer. She suffers from... right? She suffers from the flu. She suffers from a breakup. Her boyfriend broke up with her. So she suffers from that. Okay? But usually we say she is suffering. We don't say why. Okay? Okay. Number 5. To teach new information. To teach new information is to educate somebody. Right now you are being educated. I'm teaching you about English, and we're going over vocabulary. So right now, I am educating you. When you go to school, you are being educated by your teachers and your textbooks. When you go to the library and you read a book, you're being educated. It's very important to continue to be educated throughout our lives, even after you finish school. Read books that you're interested in and subjects that you're interested in. Watch documentaries on television or watch movies about history. And always don't give up being educated, right? Education is very important. 6, more than what is useful or needed. More than what is useful or needed is extra. If you have something that you don't need, right? You don't need it. It's more than what is useful. You don't need it for using it. It's not something that you need to use. It's just something extra, right? Something above and beyond what you need or what is useful. It's extra. Usually it's a bonus. We think of it in the terms of positive thinking, right? So a dessert after dinner is something extra for you to eat. You don't need it. Maybe it's not useful, but you like it, right? That's extra. Okay. Sometimes your mom will put something extra in your lunch when you go to school, or you'll get something extra from your friends if they give you something. You don't need it. Maybe it's not useful, but it's something that you like. It's extra. 7, a place to keep animals for people to see. So these people are visiting what? They're visiting the zoo. The giraffe lives in the zoo. Well, this giraffe lives in the zoo. Most giraffes live in the wild, right? But in many cities, there are zoos where people can go and they can see animals. These animals are not tame. They're not pets. They're kind of wild animals. Even though they don't live in nature, they live in a place that's built by human beings. They are in a zoo, but they are not tame. You have to be careful when approaching these animals because they're maybe not used to being around human beings. Okay, we say that, of course, that's a zoo. I forgot the word, zoo. When you say this word, pronunciation, z, zoo, zoo, not Jew, zoo, zzz. You get some vibration. So make your mouth wide like that and make your tongue vibrate, zoo. And you got it, zoo. Okay, next one. Whoa, this kid's really smart, right? Unique and different, right? Most children do not write these types of diagrams. You have to be very smart and very intelligent to be able to do this. We say, this person is special. Some kids, some young people are very smart. They're like geniuses, and they are able to do these types of things at an early age, maybe even better than people who are a lot older than them. Some of them are a lot smarter than their teachers in school. They are special kids, and they should have special education. Okay, next one. 9. Wow, very nice and peaceful, very beautiful scene. Having a lot of water in the air. Now, having a lot of water in the air, it's kind of hard to show a picture of that, but basically, if you're at the beach, you notice you're next to the ocean, it's very hot. When it's hot, a lot of the water comes into the air, right? And in Korean, you say sipki, sipki, right? Sipki. In English, we say it's humid. During the summertime in Korea, it's very humid, isn't it? And you sweat a lot. In the wintertime, it's dry. So the opposite of humid, the opposite, pandero, is dry. It's dry in the winter, but humid in the summer. Humid means it has a lot of water in the air. Next one. People who make sure we follow the laws. Who are people that make sure we follow the laws? We call these people police. This person is a policeman, but there are also police women. Okay, if you just want to talk about police, you can just say police. It doesn't mean man or woman, it's just the police. And usually we say the police force. It's a group of people, men and women, who make sure we follow the laws. They enforce the law. If he is breaking the law by speeding, going too fast, or if he doesn't stop at the stoplight or stop sign, then this person will write a ticket, making sure that he follows the law next time. 11. Oh, we have they're playing doctor, right? He's going to be the doctor for his younger brother, looks like. what a thing does or is used for. But what a thing does or is used for, we call that a role, right? So what is the role of the things that you use? For example, the mask. What's the role of the mask? The role of the mask, or the function of the mask, is to prevent disease from transferring from one person to another. So what the thing does or what it is used for, we can say what's its role. You could also say what is its function? What is its function? Or what is it used for? What is it used for? What's its role? Okay. Whoa, that was fast. These kids, have you ever done this? What are they doing? They have pillows and they're fighting with each other to try to beat somebody. You fight them. Of course, a pillow fight is very common among brothers and sisters and friends, right? Hey, you're fighting somebody, but you don't mean to hurt them. You're just having fun. You're trying to beat the other person, and you're fighting them. Of course, we also fight people in video games. Don't fight people physically. That's not good behavior. But you're trying to beat the other person. Now, fight is an irregular verb. It has different forms when we use it in past tense. So we say fight, fought, fought. Fight, fought, fought. Okay? That's the different verb forms depending on the verb tense that you're using, present or past tense, whether it's simple past or past perfect. Okay, next one. 13. Ooh, this house looks terrible, right? It's leaning to one side. Situation or environment. The condition of this house is very bad. In fact, this house should be torn down. It's not safe. The condition is unsafe. What is the condition of this house? Dangerous, unsafe. It should be torn down and a new house should be built. A new house, the condition is very good and the condition is safe. Okay? So the situation environment is like the condition. Okay, next one. Made of hardened sand and stone. Made of hardened sand and stone. What is this? This is concrete. Okay? So you see this truck. Sometimes you see these trucks at Kongsujung sites, right? And that's construction site. And they use concrete to build buildings or other types of things. Roads, walls. Concrete is used for a lot of different things. And they use sand and stone, crushed up stone, water also, and they can make concrete, okay? Made of hardened sand and stone, concrete. This isn't hard, this is wet, but after it dries, it becomes hard, and it's a very strong building material. Okay, number 15. A huge field with grass and few trees. So a huge field, lots of grass, a few trees here and there. We call this place a plain, a plain. And if you talk about the plains, usually people say the plains. Like if they say the Great Plains is an area designated in the middle of America. It involves states like Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and higher up the Dakotas. These states, there are not a lot of trees. It's just very flat and lots of grass, and there's a lot of farmland there. Now, a long time ago, it was just grass, and buffalo would run up and down this area, and the Indians would hunt the buffalo. Those were the Great Plains. Okay, so plain, a very flat area, huge field you can see for miles and miles and miles. It takes days to go across the Great Plains. Okay, last word, a deep hole. If you have a deep hole like this looks like a mining operation, but a deep hole, we call it a pit. I used to work for a mining company in America. I was in the human resources department at a large mining company, and that's what we call it. We call it the pit. We say the north pit, the south pit, right? So a pit is a deep hole. But pit doesn't just mean mining. It can be a natural pit. For example, sometimes you hear on the news where the ground just opens up, and they call that a sinkhole, but it's also, you can also say it's a pit. It's just a deep hole in the ground. It's a pit. Okay, that's our words. Let's go over the words. How well do we remember these words? Let's do some exercises. Number 1, I enjoy movies. They are great. Beep. And then we have the words here. So we have A, waste, B, audience, C, entertainment, D, people. What did we say about this word? We said that something that you do for fun, right? Like a movie, it could be playing a video game, it could be playing soccer. There's many forms of it. What is it? Of course, we talked about entertainment. I enjoy movies. They are great entertainment. Not waste, that doesn't make sense. Not audience, that doesn't make sense. And not people. Movies are not people. That's weird. Movies are a form of entertainment. There are many types of entertainment. There are many forms of entertainment. Movies are one type of entertainment. Okay, skipping number 2, going to 3. You can see monkeys in cages at the what? Where can you go and see animals in cages? Hopefully not in cages. That's not very nice. That's not very good. Hopefully they're in open areas, but sometimes they're in large cages, okay? Where do you see them? In the plains, in the jungle, at the zoo, or at the environment, right? Notice we say at. That's important too, because we don't say at the plains, we say on the plains. We don't say at the jungle, we say in the jungle. Let me write this down for you. On the plains, in the jungle, at the zoo, and in the environment. So really, we see at here, at is here, so that kind of gives us the idea anyway, right? You can see monkeys in cages at the zoo. We say at the zoo. You can say in the zoo, but it's more common to say at the zoo. But we don't say at the plains, we say on the plains. We don't say at the jungle, we say in the jungle. And environment, it's usually common to say in the environment, in an environment. So just looking at the preposition, zoo is the only one that we have to choose, so zoo is the answer, but zoo is also the only one that makes sense. You don't see monkeys in cages on the plains or in the jungle. The jungle is a natural environment. You don't have cages in the jungle where monkeys live. That's crazy. And in the environment, that doesn't fit well with the sentence anyway. The best answer is zoo, even if we don't worry about the preposition. Okay, next one, number 5. I was beep at a good school. What is done to you at a school? Nothing bad. That sounds bad. What is done to you at a school? But in a positive sense, what happens to you at school, right? Are you educated? Are you entertained? Are you kept? Are you treated? Well, you could be all 4 of those things, but one of those is the best choice. I was educated at a good school. Hopefully, if it's a good school, you will get a good education. So you will be educated at a good school. I was educated at a good school. You could say I was entertained at a good school, but the purpose for going to school is not to be entertained. The purpose for going to school is to be educated. So that's not a very good fit. I was kept at a good school. This sounds like you were kept a prisoner at a good school. That sounds a little strange. It's possible grammatically, but it sounds strange. I was treated at a good school. And that sounds odd too, because that doesn't say anything. You were treated at a good school? Usually we have to say I was treated well or I was treated poorly, right? How were you treated? If you just say I was treated at a good school, that doesn't say anything. What does it say? And so it doesn't fit. The best answer is educated. I was educated at a good school. It means I got a good education. 7. My dog is beep. He has 2 different colored eyes. Well, that's strange. If your dog has one blue eye and one brown eye, that's kind of strange, right? So would you say your dog is poor, your dog is special, your dog is small, or your dog is old? Okay? Well, strange can be unusual, right? It can be different. It can be special, not ordinary, right? So the only one that fits is special. Poor doesn't fit. My dog is poor, doesn't have any money. Dogs don't care about that. My dog is small. Okay, your dog is small, but why would you say he has 2 different colored eyes? That's not an example of being small. My dog is old. Okay, well, he's old, but why would you say he has 2 different colored eyes? Having 2 different colored eyes is not an example of being old, but having 2 different colored eyes is an example of being special. So make sure that this adjective fits the explanation or the example, right? If this example does not fit The adjective, it's not a good match. It's not a good connection. So special is the best choice here because you're saying the first sentence and then you're giving an example of that. Okay, so always make sure you have that connection when you're filling in exercises like this. Okay, that wraps up the vocabulary section. Now let's take a short break and go into the reading part. Let's take a break.